Hey guys, Brady here. Welcome back to Power Tongue. Let's vibe together for a few minutes and have a quick chat. I know everybody's so busy. It's the holiday season now. Christmas just around the corner. Whatever you celebrate, I hope it's great. I hope you have an amazing time, and your vibrations are so high during this time. Let's talk about these drones. What's going on in New Jersey? There's been so much talk about it. And people have been panicking. People have been scared. And they haven't got a lot of answers from law enforcement and the government and all that. And it's been going on now since mid-November. It's been a month. And there's really not a lot of answers. The quick rundown: there's been a surge in sightings. There's been public outcry and concern. The sightings have only increased. They haven't decreased at all. There's been over 5,000 reports. And some of these drones are said to be the size of a minivan. There's been FAA restrictions over airspace, airports, and air bases affected by this. The government has been very quiet, saying not to panic, not to fear, and to stay realistic whenever people bring up UFOs or UAPs or USOs or whatever they be bringing up to describe it. They do talk that down pretty fast. And of course, the FBI and other three-letter agencies are investigating the nature of these UFOs, and still they really don't have any answers for us. And they do say it's a wake-up call for national security, because some of the systems are pretty archaic and some of the laws are archaic, and because of that they actually can't investigate it without a warrant, they say. But whatever the reality in the physical is of this situation, I want to talk to you about the spiritual ramifications of it. I want to talk to you beyond all this public safety discourse, beyond all this government political conversation that's going on one side of the argument, but there's a mirror spiritual side to what's going on. And of course, the psycho-spiritual is where we live here on this channel, Power Tongue. So we're going to talk. The Law of One, the raw material, that's the text that we reference most often on this channel because it's been absolutely life-changing for me. And Ra, the entity that was channeled through the group LL Research, has a lot to say about UFO sightings, because there have been a lot of UFO sightings throughout history. I should say they. I always say he when talking about Ra. What I should be saying is they, and it's just hard to get used to not gendering these entities because of the dimension we live in. But Ra says that UFO sightings are a real phenomena that are linked to higher dimensional and spiritual entities. And there is two aspects to this. There's the benevolent, the positive entities, and there is also a negative aspect to it. And that's not to scare us. That's not to say that we should be frightened by what's happening. But it's just we do need to be aware of what's going so that we can polarize appropriately. So when we talk about the positive UFO sightings there have been, and we don't know which version these drones over New Jersey are, and maybe they're neither, but maybe they are. And this is something that you can figure out for your own practice and spiritual outlook. But in positive UFO history on the planet, there is the Confederation of Planets, that are an organization in reality that serves the infinite creator. And Ross said that many UFO sightings are actually the Confederation of Planets operating in our plane. These are beings of higher densities. They come from like the 4th, 5th, and 6th densities, and their aim is to aid us in our spiritual evolution. As you know, we're headed towards a harvest where if 51% of the population polarizes towards service to others and love and harmony and good vibrations, will be harvested into the 4th density. That's what we're hoping for. That's what we're trying to polarize towards. And the Confederation of Planets is in service to that end. So the Confederation of Planets, when they come in a UFO capacity, when they make themselves visible to us, they seek to inspire awe, to inspire curiosity, to inspire our awareness of the infinite, our creativity, all these positive aspects of the human experience. And these sightings that they construct for us to see are basically subtle nudges that awaken humanity to the possibility of life beyond Earth, to the possibility that there's more out there, there's more beyond just what our two eyes can see. And the Confederation of Planets, when they come, they are non-intrusive. The whole deal with these guys, the whole thing, the main rule from the Infinite Creator is that they cannot violate our free will. Free will is the law that cannot be broken. And that is why, first of all, that's why we have this veil of forgetting over us, so we can't remember who we are. We can't remember our higher self. But that respect to free will is also why these UFO sightings and these orbs and all these angelic deities and entities that we see in the skies and the cosmos is always so veiled in mystery. It's to allow us as humans to interpret these sightings based on our own spiritual preparedness, based on our own evolution and our own path and where we are. It's a beautiful thing, but sometimes it can be a frightening thing, and that's where the negative UFO encounters come in. Ra mentions the Orion Group. They're a sinister organization in the cosmos. They're self-serving beings. They're primarily fourth density negative polarity, so they're not far ahead of us density-wise. But their whole thing, their shtick, is to attempt to manipulate or control human populations, to use fear and confusion to distort spiritual seekers like us, and to create these abduction scenarios that sort of show dominance, that kind of assert dominance over us to show that they're more powerful than us and they're able to harm us. So if you've had a negative abduction scenario, that is the Orion Group working behind the scenes to manipulate us, to hold us back from our inevitable evolution to the fourth density, which we're so excited for. So there's a physical aspect to these UFO manifestations, Ross says, but they're not always physical. They're not always a real craft in the sky that can be shot down or whatever, but there's also thought forms. They're projections from higher density beings that can interact with our space-time reality. However, they can't be manipulated by us. So they always say, like, the government's going to shoot down these crafts, and they're not able to. Why is that? Because it's a thought form. It's an illusion within the illusion. That's the power as we evolve spiritually. We're able to cast these illusions into reality. And they can't be harmed by physical means because they're not of the physical. They're of the spiritual. And as you evolve spiritually, for sure you've noticed that there is a lot going on that is not of this physical realm. So Ra, their main focus, I should say, is the significance of these UFO sightings. It's not in their mechanical or technological origins. It's not where they come from or who sent them, but it's in the spiritual opportunities they provide. They're encouraging us seekers to look beyond this phenomenon and consider unity, consider vastness in creation, in the cosmos, the infinite creator, and of course, the law of one. It's an opportunity to do the right thing. These drones over New Jersey, they're a catalyst for awakening. Unusual or unexplained phenomena can serve as catalysts that are opportunities for us to question our reality and to explore the deeper truth. They come as a mystery. They make us question the nature of control, surveillance, extraterrestrials, whatever, but it's also an opportunity. Ra emphasizes that events like this can lead to spiritual questioning. What does it mean for humanity to live in harmony with advanced technology? Are we aligning with unity or are we aligning with control? That's an evil Orion concept. The drones give us ideas to think about it and reflect on our free will and choice. Ra taught in the Law of One that free will is sacred, and any intervention from higher density beings have to respect it. The Council ensures that free will be respected. So if, in your opinion, these drones are being manipulative, then they're related to negative entities, like the Orion Group. They may represent an attempt to subtly influence through fear and surveillance. There is a world in which the Council would let the Orion Group manifest a scenario like this with all these drones, as long as it's subtle and doesn't overtly violate our free will. You understand, the Orion Group has free will to manifest itself in our reality. Of course, everyone has free will. However, they cannot force us to polarize negative. We have to choose that. And if you perceive and feel that these drones are a positive thing for us, well, then it's the Council trying to inspire awareness and interconnectedness and the potential for humanity to wield technology responsibly. And of course, preparing us for this coming awakening spiritually that it goes along with our harvest. We're very close to disclosure, and it's going to be very eye-opening to some people that are not spiritually minded, that we're not going to be looking up. We're going to be looking within. Earth, according to Ra, is a battleground for polarization. It's ultimately this whole archetype throughout history, good, evil, light, dark, all of this is the polarization of service to others, which is unity, or service to self, which is control. So if the drones are of a positive polarity, they're trying to enhance transparency. They're pushing us to collectively problem solve. They're making us think about our ethics and morals. They're making us align with the positive path. That could be the positive scenario of this if it's sent from the Council. If it's sent from the Orion Group, what it happens is it leads to fear, surveillance, suppression of freedom. It aligns with the negative path. So it's up to you to decide if you think this is from the Council or you think it's from the Orion Group. We can't tell. We can't tell right now. Maybe some people can if they're channelers or they're, spiritually in tune with the drone scenario or whatever. But I'm just from the sidelines now. Of course, I do live on the East Coast, so it is pretty close to me. But just know that according to the Law of One, all events, even chaotic ones, are a part of the Creator's infinite unity. It's all one. Everything is one. We can interpret them as symbols of humanity's need to balance technology, ethics, and spirituality, and that would be a very positive way of looking at it. And in just a simple translation, it's like I posted on Twitter earlier, it's less about the drones. They're less about the tech and whatever, who sent it, where it's from, what it's doing. It's more about how you vibe with it. If you're fearful of it, that's a low vibration, and that's the negative path. If it inspires creativity and unity, that's the high vibration, and that is a positive polarization, and you're being a responsible, spiritual, evolutionary ascendant. So what do you think? Is it the Orion Group? Is it the Confederation of Planets? Who is in the skies over New Jersey? For sure, more information will come out in time, but it's hard to know exactly what's going on. I gotta go. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. I'll be traveling, so I won't be around so much, but we'll definitely be talking soon. Subscribe and like if you think any of this is interesting, and let's polarize responsively, guys. Let's make this harvest. Goodbye.